welcome along to the Invincibles podcast. Lee Judge is in the building.
Well, before we start, where's your poppy? What's happened to your poppy?
Oh, you know what? He broke, man. I had like one of the paper ones.
Yeah.
Right? And the only thing about them ones, when you get it with the little clip thing, that you know, what do they call it? The pin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it broke.
Ah.
Broke. That's a nice. I had that one from last year.
Yeah, you get them every year.
Yeah,
so
the Arsenal one.
Yeah, got 22 on it, like, you know. This,
Yeah.
Or 21.
Did you get that last year?
21.
Though? If you just put on last year's
it says 21 on there. Look, it says 21.
You sure?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, I hope you're contributing to the cause, you know.
Always.
Great cause, of course. You know, and you know, well done to all the football teams.
I thought it was brilliant
right across the country. Yeah, it was brilliant. The way it was done at Arsenal, and to be fair, the week before at Leicester, they done it. The football teams support it every year, and it's for a great cause. And of course, it's all about, at this time of year, remembering those people that fought for us.
Yeah,
you know, and continue to fight for us. You know, and big up to, I don't know if you saw the other day, we did a fan cam with a couple of guys.
Yeah, I met them, didn't I? Like,
yeah, from the military. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Had a few beers, didn't they?
They'd had a couple.
A few free beers,
They'd had a couple, but if anybody deserves to have a couple of beers,
100%.
They do, unlike you. You know what I mean?
100%.
We haven't lifted a finger for this country, right? They have done a lot, right?
No,
so
100%.
they can have a beer, you can't, right?
And it's great that Arsenal give them the box for, they give so many people like in the army and all that, the box for the day.
That's right,
to enjoy that. And those two guys certainly enjoyed it, didn't they?
How did you get in there?
I didn't get in there. I just bumped into them afterwards, and they said like they'd like to go on there. So I said,
no, they were really nice guys, man. And you know what I mean? It was really good to have them on. And once again, to those guys, the work and jobs that they, you know, the guys in the military do. You know, these guys fighting for us on a day-to-day basis, and the guys that we've lost over the years. So.
And,
you know,
and one of the guys
never forget.
One of the guys was the first one that spoke. He's a season ticket holder, but can't go every week because of, you know, being posted here and there and whatever.
Yeah.
But he still buys his season ticket every year, even though even though he can't go to all the games. So that just shows you the dedication of everybody that goes to Arsenal or tries to follow him.
Amazing, man. Amazing. But listen, it's an international break.
Yeah.
I know you're excited about it.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
And do you want to talk about, before we get into what we're going to talk about today, because, you know, one thing about the international break, I know you famously never celebrated a goal by Harry Kane, but you can celebrate Saka, Smith Rowe even.
It's happening, isn't it? It's starting to turn. Do you know when a couple of years ago in the World Cup, they had 5 or 6, didn't they? Spurs players.
Yeah, when I went to Russia, it was like, you know.
It was England, not Spurs. That's what Tottenham fans used to say. Like, that's why I couldn't get involved with it as much as I wanted to. But now it's turning. Like, you know, we could have at least 3. I really should have 4 in the squad. With Ben White should be in the squad.
Ben White should be in, as he not in the squad.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he's not in the squad. But so it's turning. It's a good thing as well. So, you know, England, if they can get a few more in there, you never know. England might actually win something.
And you'll be celebrating.
I will be celebrating. Yeah. And like, you know, let's be honest. Harry Kane shouldn't even be nowhere near this squad at this moment in time.
Wouldn't you have him in there?
No, not on current form. You wouldn't have him in on current form. You will do.
You know, the thing is about is it's a hard one when it comes to England squad, isn't it? Because you got a bit of current form, but then you also. You can't throw a player out because he's...
No, I know.
That's the only place he has been scoring is for England.
I agree with that, but you know, it works 2 ways, doesn't it? Like Benjamin White, I will call him Benjamin, was in the Euros squad, but has been playing really, really well. But he got left out.
Yeah, he should be in.
He should be in the squad. So there's one rule for one. Listen, I think, you know, on current form, there'd be 4, 5, 6 of them that wouldn't be near the England squad. If I'll be honest, but Harry Kane has got credit in the bank, and you know, San Marino and Albania, like, fill your boots, Harry, like, you know what I mean. So, you know, like, I won't be cheering, put it that way, like, you know what I mean. Albania. He scores hat-trick against San Marino. Oh, let's all be happy for Harry. No, thank you.
He's so bitter, isn't he? He's so bitter, but I love it. I guess you want to mention last week's games.
Oh, let's get on. Aubameyang.
Aubameyang, you cost me last week, yeah? You cost me last week, Aubameyang, because I had Arsenal 2-0, right? And Odegaard hit that. That was going. It was a goal. And because Aubameyang went and touched it now, it was offside, and that cost me.
Yeah, it was just stayed 1-0, didn't it?
Yeah. So I didn't get that one right. I got the outcome right on that.
Yes,
I got the outcome right on 3 of the games. We both got the outcome wrong on the, what was it, the City, the United.
The West Ham game.
The West Ham game,
Liverpool. We both went Liverpool.
We both went Liverpool and West Ham. Wow, what a result.
What a result. I'll tell you what, they're playing some unbelievable stuff on there. I can't wait for when we play them. That's going to be a really good game.
Right?
And they're flying.
There was one that you got exactly right, wasn't
it? Yes. Yes.
Go on, tell me.
This is unbelievable. I actually got the Man United Man City one right, 2-0, and it was 2-0 at half time. And again, like the one I got right with the Arsenal Leicester game, 2-0 at half time, you would have actually put, if you was a betting man, you would have said it ain't going to finish like that at half time. But
you're so jamming.
Jammy, or just know what I'm doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you're 1-0 up this month.
Yeah, and going back to the Aubameyang thing, if he'd have scored his penalty and hadn't touched that goal, right, we'd have won 3-0, and that would have put me in, because I said 3-0 Arsenal Watford. So as much as I can blame him, if he'd have touched
that goal and scored the penalty, you'd have won 2-0, and I would have been in.
Yeah, so so are we blaming Aubameyang? Yeah. We're blaming Aubameyang.
We're blaming Aubameyang. But then listen, that we were very happy for the win.
I was pleased it was 1-0 because there was about 3 or 4 minutes to go and my 3-0 was out the window, right? So it was either 2-0 or 1-0. Let's stick it at 1-0. Let's keep it 1-0, like, you know what I mean? I'll take a point, and that's what it was. So I was well pleased.
It was a great win. You know what? Later on, we're going to look at the next 6 games that Arsenal got coming up, because obviously now 10 game unbeaten run. We're all a lot more cheerful than we were earlier on in the season. We're seeing some good football being played. Our players even being rewarded with international call-ups for Smith Rowe, Gabriel. So it's been recognised how well the team, the individual players are doing in the team. And Mikel Arteta's really turned it around, hasn't he?
He has at the moment. He is, without a doubt. I think we all said that after the Man City game, if they was going to keep him, which they did, he has got to win or got to stay unbeaten in those 10 games to really turn it around and start for people to believe in him, and he's done that. And all credit to him. I think there was a definite change of shift of attitude after that Crystal Palace game. There's been we was very, very negative when we went into that game, when we went in the front in that game. It wasn't a great game, but since then I think they've had a look at it and gone more positive. And I loved, even though it was 1-0 on Sunday, I loved that game. I thought it was a really good game. I felt that it tested us in different ways, and we come through it. So I
couldn't understand people saying, "Oh, lucky." It was never a lucky win. That was. No, I looked at it quite a comfortable 1-0 win.
Yeah, I do as well. It
didn't really. I don't really remember, apart from the little mess up that Ramsdale made, where Josh King could have scored.
Well, should have
scored. Yeah. Apart from that, did he have a save to make?
I don't think he did.
I don't remember him having a. Whereas with us, 2 goals disallowed, missed penalty. We had other chances as well. Ben Foster made some unbelievable saves.
He made a great save from
Gabriel.
Brilliant
save that was. Yeah.
Brilliant save.
So I thought it was a decent performance.
Yeah.
And a much deserved win. And like you said, the team, this playing better. There's a bit of flow to it.
There was. I tell you what, it was an entertaining game. I enjoyed the game. Even though, do you know what? Come off at half time. I don't know how you feel about this, but at half time, you go into the bar at half time and it's always, they're going to nick one, you're going to lose this game. I never felt that. I felt that we was always going to get a goal. Yeah. I always felt that we was going to, and I always felt that we looked quite safe at the back. And I'm going to say this now, whether you like it or not, I loved the way we didn't give them back that throw on. I loved it.
Well, I was going to ask you about that.
Love it.
Why?
Why? Because there's certain things in the game. 1, he wasn't injured. 2, right, easy little cop out for Danny Rose. You know what I mean? Like, he's boxed in the left hand side there. Like, you know what I mean? Knock it out. They give it back. instead of clearing his line. So he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, of course.
He knew what he was doing, you know what I mean? And we ain't falling for those tricks no more. We ain't falling for those tricks. There weren't nothing wrong. It was a little bit of trick-housey, I'll say that, you know, which could have copped us. But we didn't fall for it.
And they had an attack later on, probably about 10 minutes later, where they're attacking, where they did have a player down, genuinely hurt, and they kept going. They kept attacking, right? So I could see the look on Lacazette's face. He read it straight away. Yeah, so he's like, I ain't giving this back to them. I mean, you've just done that deliberately.
Yeah, exactly. And what I liked about that is that we ain't naive no more. There was a bit of naivety in the past. We would have given the ball back and done that.
Arteta said it, innit? He said. He said, we're normally the nicest team, almost to the point of being naive. Yeah. And he's right when he says that, you know what I mean? And I like that as well. Yeah,
there was no need for us to kick that ball. Actually, they actually showed you it on, I don't know if it was on Sky Shuttle or I see something of it. Danny Rose has looked up, just as he's about to play, he's seen him get up. He was just getting up, so he knew what he was doing. Yeah. I know, you know, I mean, you're boxed in, you don't know how, you know, you're going to clear it. It could go straight back there. He thought, well, if I knock it out here, we're getting it back. It was a good tactic from him to try it. You know what I mean? But we didn't fall for it.
Plus, as well, right? I mean, there was still loads and loads for us to do before we scored. Yeah. It weren't like it was a throw by the corner flag or something, or right, you know. Deep in attacking, was it? You know what I mean? So, I mean...
Listen, there's been many a time, you know what I mean, like Arsenal players are down in the... Do you remember, I'll tell you the one, with, you know, Granit Xhaka, actually genuinely injured, 2 months he's out, he's on the floor when Spurs scored.
Great
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, when Son scored, you're right.
We didn't kick the ball out then, we accepted it. We weren't no hoo-ha from anybody else, but oh no, because it's Arsenal. I loved it. Well done. They tried it on. They were trying that sort of tactic all game. All game falling
slowing
over.
It down.
Actually, he even said it was a foul on
Maisie.
No, well, he just ran into him. I didn't think there was nothing wrong with that. No, we were trying to make a meal out of that. And if a team, sometimes you get what you get. And they deserve the goal like that against them, Watford, for all their little tricks.
You didn't think Ranieri was saying we were being very disrespectful?
No, I didn't see that. Do you know what? Until they scored, when we scored, I didn't see them falling about after that and rolling around getting injured. Did you? Once they was 1-0 down.
No, because all of a sudden they got to chase again.
You know, so there's a little bit of both in that. You know, the delaying tactics and breaking up the play and everything like that. You know, listen, don't get me wrong. We allowed that to happen because we didn't take the early goal. Aubameyang should have scored from the Saka one where he miscontrols it. You know, if he doesn't miscontrol it, then Saka's not offside. Aubameyang scores. He had a nightmare, by the way, Aubameyang. But then all those little tricks you wouldn't have seen, Robbie. The reason that they done all that was because they was 0-0. It was getting, you know, trying for. You can hear what he's saying in you know. Frustrate them, get them, you know, get the crowd against them and all that like. But I'll tell you something which I thought was really, really good from the fans' point of view. The fans weren't getting agitated. I think there was a confidence that we was going to get the goal. Do you know, I didn't feel the pressure building up and building up in the stands, you know. And listen, he took the goal really well. And let's be honest, it looked like at one stage it was going to be one of those games, wasn't it, where everything was going to be there. You know, people were going out, it was going to be one of those games. I think that was a big test for us on Sunday, and I think we passed with flying colours.
Passed with flying colours, and another goal for Emil Smith-Rowe. And how good is he playing at the moment?
Well, he's been brilliant.
Deserves a call up?
Oh, 100%. 100%. He should have been called up before the injuries, if I'll be honest. You know what I mean? Typical Gareth Southgate, but we won't go there. Might be cheering him on.
You're so
Friday.
bitter.
No, listen, I'll tell you why I'm bitter about it, because I have my theories, and people think that I'm stupid about this, and fair enough. And I open myself up to criticism for it. 89, Arsenal won the league. 91, they won the league. In 1990, not one English player from Arsenal went to that World Cup. Right? Benjamin White goes to the Euros as a Brighton player. Since he signed for Arsenal, he's not been in it. Is it a coincidence or not? Like?
Come on, man.
Well, I'm just saying, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you have a look at all the players.
Brighton's held in higher stock than Arsenal.
Well, yeah, but you know, look at the Arsenal players that.
But he had Saka in there.
Yeah, Saka's
at the age
in there.
of 19, 20. You know what I mean, and trust him.
He's probably said that he'll sign for Aston Villa in 15 years' time. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? But look at Ian Wright. Let's talk about Ian Wright. 1991, 92 season. Do you remember? Top scorer in the league. Mm-hmm. Didn't go to the Euros.
Well, Shearer was doing.
Well, no,
I agree with you at that time.
Alan Smith went instead of him.
Well, that the year when Shearer went as well.
I don't know if Shearer was there or not then.
I know Shearer kept him out.
It was Gary Lineker's last game.
Yeah. I know Shearer used to keep him out a lot.
Could not get into that squad.
Yeah. I remember they used to sleep on. They slept on Ian Wright for a long time.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So another one, I'd say that Paul Merson, one of the most gifted players I've seen in my life. Correct me if I'm wrong. No more than 30 international caps.
Well, we got 3 in there at the moment. Let's give thanks for that. I do agree with you. I can't understand how Ben White's not in there, right? Because he's been outstanding, and as well, a lot of the things that I see him do, I already see other England players doing that. Maybe John Stones can do that, like sort of bring it out and that.
Yeah, but who hardly plays for Man City.
Yeah, he's. I think the game when they played against United the other day was like the first game I've seen John Stones play for ages.
Yeah, but that's only because Laporte was suspended.
Yeah, so you know, I was shocked.
Mings has been dropped for Villa.
Mings has been poor this season.
Been dropped for Villa.
You know, but, I was surprised. You know what I mean? But listen, I still think his time will come.
Yeah,
I still think his time will come. And the way those players are performing, you know, they can get into that squad for Qatar. They really can. But it's just great to see some of our boys in that team. This week, I don't know if you've seen, obviously a lot of stuff around Arsene Wenger.
Yeah.
On Monday night, they had an audience with Arsene Wenger that was with David Dean. I went to it. It was at the Palladium. Great night.
Was it good?
It was really, really good. Packed. So many ex-players there. They all came in stage at the end. Martin Keown, of course, Ian Wright and Alex Scott were hosting it. There was so many players there. You know what I mean? So many, you know, Kolo Toure, Fabregas.
Yeah, I saw Fabregas.
It was really good, really good. And David Dean and Wenger spoke really, really well. And then, of course, they've had the film.
Yeah,
they had the. I didn't get a chance to go to that, but they had the premiere of the film. DVD is going to be coming out in a couple of weeks' time. We're going to do a special to that where we're going to watch it and then talk about what we've thought about it. But I've been told as well that that's a very, very good film. You know, Arsene Wenger, you know, getting a lot of love at the moment. And you know, I have to say, we've always known he's an unbelievably intelligent guy. He spoke with a lot of passion. You know, one of my takeaways from it, Lee, right, is when both him and David Dean were talking, number one, you could see that those two had an absolute special relationship.
Yeah.
You know, special relationship.
Never the same when he left.
And when David Dean left,
never the same.
Arsene Wenger said that, you know, I was going to leave as well. That's what he said on when they was talking. He said he was going to leave as well. David Dean told him not to. He said, no, stay on, continue on, right? But you could see that it was never the same. That was when the decline started to come.
Yeah.
When David Dean left.
Yeah, I think he always pushed Arsene Wenger. I also believe that when, go back to that season when they just bought Petr Cech, if David Dean was in that ballroom or whatever and he said, I'm just going to buy Petr Cech, I think David Dean would have questioned him on it and said, look, no, we need more than that, like, you know. But I don't think there was someone like that to do that. Once David Dean went, if I'll be honest, and I think that was Arsene Wenger's downfall, that he never had someone to prompt him a little bit.
I mean, one of the funniest stories that they told on the night was the story about when they signed Patrick Vieira.
Yeah, brilliant.
You know, which of course is one of obviously the first sort of Wenger signing, and he couldn't speak no English, and then I think David Dean must have asked him like after a couple of weeks, you know, as you know, in French, how are you getting on with the English and that? And he said, the thing that he'd learned is, what do you think of Tottenham? Shit. And he said, who told you that? Who told you that? And he said, Ray Parlour. That was really funny.
That was quality.
That was quality. But it was a good night. I mean, you really got an insight. Without them really, you know, Arsene Wenger's not going to go deep down into what's going on. But I just read between the lines. You could get an insight that it was after David Dean. David Dean was so integral to what was going on at Arsenal when we were being really successful. it's to this day, it bothers me, man, that was a big mistake getting rid of David Dein. I still think he could contribute something to this club. Well, I really do, because he loves this club. Do you know another thing as well? I met a guy when I was walking out of there. This old boy come up to me, shook my hand, and we were chatting. And he said to me, he said, I used to go to school with David Dein. And he said, when I went to school with David Dein, he goes, this is no word of a lie. He said, when I went to school with David Dein, he told me that one day I'm going to own Arsenal.
Right.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
and he did actually become the chairman.
You know, with David Dein, he used to go to all the youth team games and all the reserve team games. He knew everything about every single player.
All the players still called him Mr. Dein. Yeah. Every single one of them.
I was talking to Kevin the other day about it, like, you know, when he used to come to, like, Kevin needed to improve on his heading, and so David Dein said, every time you score. No, Pat Rice said to him, every time you score a goal, I'll give you a £5. And David Dein overheard the conversation and said, I'll match it. So every time he scored an header, he got like £10 instead of £5. And that's what he was like. So someone that was really, you know, like all into Arsenal all the time, like, you know. And I think it was you know, I was impressed by his French. He could speak fluent French and everything, couldn't he? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but very, very passionate about Arsenal all through the years. You know, was influential. You know, getting Charlie Nicholas over the line back in the day when you know, Arsenal were struggling a little bit. I think that's when he first come into the. I think that's why Charlie Nicholas was there, wasn't it? But that just shows you what.
Famously did the Sol Campbell deal.
Yeah. You know, deals that you know, you wouldn't necessarily have thought would have happened, and you know. So, and I think that, you know, terrible mistake that was, terrible mistake.
And then they spoke again, you know, obviously about how things changed. Arsene Wenger made me laugh when he said, you know, basically Man City bought all our players, you know. But I don't know, man. It just seemed to me that, you know, we made a big mistake.
It's just, for me, that, you know, whatever Arsene Wenger done and all that, still a little bit too... what's the word? Not enough time has gone past for me to start the real loving with Arsene Wenger.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'll tell you what I mean by that. Is that I still have this, whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, is that he protected the board instead of the fans. So he was prepared to let the fans go all the way to home and away, going to those games, paying top money, and protecting the board and protecting the interest of the board, instead of protecting the fans. I think if he would have come out at one stage and said, look, they're not giving me this money, blah, 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 I think the Arsenal fans would have backed him instead of going against him. Yeah,
but I think now, especially when the way he was talking, you know, I haven't seen the film yet, but you can tell, you can see that, you know, the pressures he was under in having to pay off the stadium and stuff like that. I mean,
he shouldn't have been doing that, though, should have he? He should never have come down to that. You know, he should have got home.
But it was the reality.
Yeah, yeah. So then put it on the board, put it on the owners to put their hand in their pocket and help him out. That's one of the things.
Yeah, but then they might have told him to get lost. Well, and
do you know what? Do you know what? If they would have done, what do you think the fans would have done about that? There wouldn't have been no one going to the games, because that's how much power he had, Arsene Wenger. That's my point with Arsene Wenger. Oh, you know what I mean? People would have followed him to the moon and back. Do you know what I mean? Like, and paid for it. You know what I mean? Like, no, they would have done. You know, but ultimately he didn't do that. You know, and listen, fans. I'll tell you this now. I went to the 89 thing on last Friday. It was fantastic. With the they showed the highlights of.
Is that the concert?
Yeah, with classical music. Like, you know, I thought, what am I doing here at first? Because it was not for me. But
good though.
Absolutely fantastic. It was fantastic how they'd done it with all the music and all that, like of it all. And then afterwards, George Graham come on to a standing ovation. But there were fans in the arena that had not forgiven him for the Tottenham thing, for going to Tottenham.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? For me, thing of the past, forgotten. You know what I mean? Like,
so where times. Why can't you with Wenger?
Well, because you know, that's 10, 15 years. You know, it's 3 years since Arsene Wenger.
That's a while, isn't it?
Not for me. Not quite long enough. You know, I mean, you know, Arsene Wenger for me, like, you know, was unbelievable. Unbelievable manager, like, you know.
No, he was. He was when he was there talking about the Invincible times and things like that.
Great times.
I was just there. I was sat next to Coogan, and me and Coogan, Coogan Cassius, who does AFL TV, and me and him were just like Remember them days, man?
Oh,
unbelievable. Me and him used to go to Highbury together.
Yeah.
And we're just like...
It was unbelievable. And I tell you what, I'm going to say this now, he's done a fantastic job getting us into the top 4.
We're seeing it now.
You know, when you see it now, it was a fantastic job. But
we weren't saying that at the time, though, were we?
No, because when it come down, you know, he actually said, you know, things like which, you know, got my goat a little bit. Like I'm not prepared to spend extra on you know, on a midfield player that we needed. And things like that, but he was prepared for let the fans keep spending and spending. That was my that was my grief of him. He wasn't prepared to do that, you know. And when you look back on it, who was he covering? He was covering them, like, you know what I mean, weren't it? Because he wasn't prepared to do it. You know, he didn't have the money, so he should have come out and said, "Look, I haven't got the money." And you know, then the fans would have, you know, revolted against probably the people they should have done instead of Arsene Wenger. And I always feel a little bit bitter that he chose the board and chose that sort of side of things and the fans. And I swear at that stage, Robbie, and I really mean this, if he'd have come out and said, they're giving me no money, I'm going to, you know, and whatever, and they would have sacked him, do you know what? There would have been riots down there, there would have been protests and everything, like, you know what I mean? People wouldn't have gone in because he had so much respect and love. But he, you know, in the end, people went against him, bleating, arguing and fighting in the bleating stands over him, like, you know what I mean?
But is it time to let bygones be bygones and remember the great things he's done? I mean, one of the questions that David Dean was asked by a fan was, should there be a statue of Arsene Wenger at the Emirates? And he said 100%, of course there should be. Statue for you?
Well, 100%. 100%.
I thought you were going to say no for that as well.
No. Well, for what he's done.
No, he should definitely be a statue.
He's won 2 doubles. He's won, you know, the Invincibles.
Double in his first season.
You know, realistically, you look at Manchester United. They've got Alex Ferguson,
the stand.
You know what I mean? You know, story Manchester City have got the Colin Bell stand.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually a photo of that and called it the Bell End, but like we won't go into that. Like, do you remember that?
Yeah.
And everybody voted for the Bell End, didn't they? So they had to stop it. But there should be there should be a stand or something, or Arsene Wenger stand, without a shadow of that, because of what he's achieved and all that, like, you know. But there are a lot of fans that are still a little bit hostile to him. I've been on the chat groups this week when
I can't be
and arguing about you know, some have got the love for him and all that, and some are saying that they haven't, you know.
I can't be hostile towards him. Listen, on our platform we allowed fans to come on and have their say, and a lot of fans were, especially towards the end, were very anti Arsene Wenger, but how I look on it, right, is that I just, now that he did, you know, I always look on it and thought to myself, Arsene should have left a few years. He was asked that question, actually, that, you know, why don't you leave a few years, you know, when you beat Chelsea, for instance, why don't you leave then? Dermot O'Leary asked him that, and I think he said that, you know, he never ever not fulfilled his contract, so that's why he stayed. But I still think that he should have left then, or even the previous FA Cup win, when we beat Villa. I mean, there's a lot of people who say when we beat Hull in the FA Cup, you should have left then, right? I think if he'd have left after any of those, it would have been better. But listen, it is what it is. He left when he left. I remember when he left, I remember being at that game, Huddersfield away, you know, nearly having a tear in my eye, because it was really sad to see a great man like that go out like that. To me, I was like, Arsene, you should have left after one of those big cup wins.
Very emotional.
You should have went out in style, because you know what, the amount of pleasure that you brought to me and all the fans around the world. A lot of people support Arsenal because of him, because of the football that he brought, the style of play, everything. You know what I mean? So it was, you know, it was kind of sad to see how it ended up in the end. But definitely he deserves a statue. I mean, one of the other things which was asked as well was, and again, David Dean said that he thought this was a massive mistake by Arsenal. I'm not 100% sure on this one. I don't know where you stand on this. Is that they should have given him some sort of role at the club, like director of football or ambassadorial role or some role upstairs. What do you think to that?
I've always admired Arsene Wenger for his dignity not to come back, in a way, because he's not put pressure on anybody else. I've always admired that, where, you know, I always say, like, to people when they say, oh, when you just turn around and said, oh, Arsene Wenger should have left after Aston Villa game, it's like saying to you or me, after with that cup final, you can't go no more. That's it. You're not allowed to go no more.
Yeah, but it's different, isn't it?
Well, it is different.
It's not your job. I mean, it's just like.
But he loved the club. I'll give him that and everything. So it's very, very difficult. I think it'd be very. I think again, a year's time or something like that. I think an ambassador role should be like something that he should be. Because there is that saying, like, that Arsene Wenger built at the Emirates. Well, he didn't actually build it because I'm pretty sure he's not a builder, but he contributed.
He's instrumental in it, though. He's instrumental in that. He's instrumental in the training ground, all those things.
And listen, he's given us some of the greatest memories as and I think that, and again, that's a little bit why I feel a little bit funny about it, like, bittersweet because he there is the sad thing that it was a little bit tarnished towards the end, which it shouldn't have been. Do you know what, really, when you think about it and you look back on it now, he won, beating Chelsea in that cup final, we beat Manchester City in the semi-final. He done really well to win those FA Cups and all that, so I think that's a tough one. I don't know.
The only thing I look at and I say, if you give him a role and he goes upstairs or something like that, that puts so much pressure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So like, you can imagine, like, at the start of this season, for instance, right, when we lost those first 3 games, and say he was there as in some sort of role above the club. So, like when you've watched Man United play.
Well, you see it now.
And they're always panning to Fergie.
Yeah,
soon as a goal goes in against United, they pan to Fergie. I remember the game against when they played Liverpool. They kept panning to Fergie, then they were panning away to Kenny Dalglish laughing, So you get all that. And I just think he's still such a huge figure at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Right? He's kind of missed Arsenal in a way. That what chance would Arteta have? Or any other manager you've got such a huge. The minute you lose a few games, the people will be like, put Arsene caretaker in charge till we bring the next guy.
That's the problem you've got. Unless they start winning games, I think, like, if Arsene Wenger was to come back now, it wouldn't be so bad. But I reckon Alex Ferguson's at the movie seat because they probably think, well, he's there, and we'll try and find him somewhere because it doesn't look good. So, I think it's a very, very difficult. I find it very, very sad. That all that he's done and all that he's never come back to the
that is
one game.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that he's not come back.
So it shows you he was a little bit upset with the way it went and all that.
I feel so because I think he said, he goes, I always honour my contracts. So I think he was pretty bitter that his contract wasn't honoured. And he had to leave before the end of it. So. But listen, he's still doing great things. He's now at FIFA.
He looked well, by the way.
Yeah, he looked very well. And did you see how many jobs he said he turned down?
Yeah.
He said he turned down Real Madrid more than once. He turned down PSG more than once. He turned down the England job a couple of times. Turned down the French national team, Juventus. He turned down a lot of big clubs. That's, again, probably why he's so bitter. Because he's like, I turned down all these clubs. And then... we just, the hierarchy discarded him. It was time for him to go.
Yeah. But I think it'd be a fantastic job as an international manager.
That's what I always thought.
I think, if he was to get the French...
could still do a job now?
I think he'd do, I think if he was to go either to France national team or even England, I think it'd be fantastic for the job. I really do, because it's not... week in, week
even
out.
Now he's been out of the job for a few years.
I think that he would. I think he'd still do a good job and all that.
Yeah, he didn't seem to like the national job because he was saying that he'd want to be there every day.
Yeah, but he's 71 now. You know what I mean? I think if he was to come back, that would be the perfect thing for him to do. Really, France or England. I think one thing it will be, they'll be entertaining. Because they did entertain, you know what I mean? So. Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to take a look at the next 6 games. Let's bring it back to now, yeah? Because we've been on this 10-game unbeaten run. Brilliant, marvellous. We're happy, smiles on our faces, we're buzzing. It's been great.
But
next 6 games is a mixture, right? Liverpool away. Tough.
Yeah.
They won there for.
They've dropped 5 points in their last 6 games.
They have. It could be a very angry Liverpool, or it could be a vulnerable Liverpool. We don't know. Newcastle at home. Manchester United away. Everton away. Southampton at home. And Leeds away. What do you think of that that run?
Well, I think it will define where we're going to be. I think that these 6 games will tell us where we know. Listen, if we win all 6, we're title challengers. You know what I mean? I know it sounds silly, but that's what we would be. You know, win half of them, and still top 4 is on. Lose them all, and we're in trouble.
Could we win half? All right, so let's see if we could. Let's first of all see if we could win half of them. Right. So Liverpool away.
It's going to be tough. You know what I mean? Like,
I want your head. What your head tells you.
I think we'll give it a good go, but we'll just come a little bit short.
Newcastle at home?
Home should win that one.
Man United away?
No, I think maybe a draw. Is that at best?
Beat them last year.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, that could go evil. You know, you just don't know what you're going to get with that Man United.
Depends who's
Man
in
United
charge.
have been,
Depends who's in charge.
If they've got Ollie in charge, there's a chance.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
They got anyone decent in charge.
Yeah.
Everton away.
Yeah, I think like
I think performing.
And defensively, I think we're a lot. That's where I feel a little bit more confident. Do you know, like when we say like played Liverpool, you know, we conceded a header from Jota. We conceded a header from Sterling. I don't think we'll concede those sort of goals now. So we were going to hopefully be in those games. And I think Everton, I think that's the one where, as tough as it always is for us there, I think that we could get 3 points from that.
Southampton at home.
Tough, but 3 points definitely.
Leeds away.
Oh, that's a difficult one, isn't it? They ain't playing that great. So if you're going to be looking to get top 4 in Europe, you've got to go there and win. So let's be positive and say that we can win that.
Yeah, I look at those games and I'm like, out of those, you said if you won half, I think 4 out of those 6 are games that
we can win.
Newcastle at home, I'd expect us to win that, right? I know I'm saying expect. We know it's the Premier League, but just saying.
But we're at home as well.
Yeah, right. Everton away, I think we can win that. Southampton at home, I think we can win that. And Leeds away, Leeds have not been the same sort of team. I think we can win that as well. The 2 really difficult ones is Liverpool away. When was the last time we won there? I know, but could we be catching them at the right time? You know what I mean? They got beaten by West Ham. You remember they were 3-1 down at one stage.
Yeah.
They lost to West Ham. A disciplined, excellent performance by West Ham. Could that be the blueprint? I know it was at West Ham. It weren't at Anfield, right? And they drew with Brighton.
Yeah.
And Brighton could have nicked it. In between that, though, they did smash up Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, and that's so that just shows you how good they can be.
Yeah. And then Man United is like you said. Man United, who knows? Who knows what? And Man United, if they've got a decent manager in charge, it's as tough a place that you could think because of the players they've got in Ronaldo and all these guys. You know what I mean? But how they currently are.
You'd fancy us to try and... I'd fancy us to get something from it.
Yeah, I could see a draw there. I'd take a draw there.
I'd take a draw there. I'll bite your hand off for a draw. Then if we was to win those other 4, draw at Man United and draw at Liverpool, I'd bite your hand off with that.
But it's a big test, these next set of games, isn't it? Because there are some difficult games in there, right? Even Everton away is not an easy game.
No.
Leeds away is not. Those are not easy games. And, 4 out of those 6 games are away from home. Yeah,
but and I think Arsenal needed to win somewhere big. I know that sounds silly, because everybody needs that. But at this moment in time, the 10 games that we've gone unbeaten, they're all games that you would turn around and go, yeah, if Liverpool were on that run, Man United were on that run playing those games, you'd expect them to win those games. You wouldn't expect them to be
Leicester away is not an easy
but
one.
Leicester away is a tough one. Leicester away is like going to Everton away, Leeds away, something like that thing. It's a great result.
No, it's harder than going.
Yeah, maybe a little bit harder, but as far as statements are concerned.
Yeah, I think it's harder than going to Everton away.
I honestly think
going to Leicester away is like winning away at Man United.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's even tougher at Man United. But Man United's a bigger sort of
it's
a bigger statement. So if you was to go to Man United and win, that would be a massive statement. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I get 100% what you're saying there with Leicester. Leicester's a big game. Leicester are going to be top 6 at the end of the day. But but if we was to go to Liverpool and win, all of a sudden the doubters are saying, oh yeah, same old us, can beat all the little teams, and then when it matters they lose. But if we could go there and win, I think would be a massive shot in the arm.
Do you know what?
For the rest of the campaign.
I agree with you, Lee. You know what? I'm thinking of it 3 ways, right? I really think it's a key game, right? Because if we go there and win, oh my God. You start to really believe, those players really start to believe that, you know, we could do something this season. Not talking about league or nothing, but we'd actually overtake Liverpool.
We'll go above Liverpool,
which would be ridiculous, you know what I mean? But if we could go there and win, you start to believe and say, oh wow, you know what could this team do this season? If we go there and draw, you're believing. You're like, wow, we've gone to a place where it's been really tough over the years, and we've got a draw. That's a step forward. Now to the next game, you know what I mean? If you go there and lose, but you put in a performance, even that for me, I'd look on that and say, do you know what? Normally when we've come here, we've lost, but we've got battered. But you know what? We put up our fight, and it ain't the same Arsenal that normally, you know what I mean? So even that, but if we go there and it's like what we've seen over the past few years, then that puts a dampener on everyone, and then everyone's sort of like, oh, see, the minute you came up against half decent, you know, top team, who fell apart. So I think that this is a key game, because I think it's the game that sets up all the other games. Yeah. Get any of those 3 scenarios, even the loss, but it's hard to say positive loss, but you know what I mean? A loss where you can hold on to certain things and say, you know what? I see steps forward with this team. It's only because it was Liverpool, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. And we've gone to Liverpool a lot before lockdown and everything like. And I've gone there like hoping to keep the score down, keep it respectable, and then be 4-1 down at half time. And you know what I mean? I remember you saying to me, "What would you do?" I said they get more than 4. And you went, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, they will. They got 5. They got 4 at half time." You know what I mean? So, but I am going to this game. I'm not saying that with optimism. I'm not saying that I'm going there and thinking, yeah, we're going to win this game, but I feel we've got a chance. I'm not saying that we're going to win it, but I feel that we've got a chance, because I'll tell you why we've got a chance, because we've got a good defence. Now, it might get exposed and get shown up there. We don't know, because they've got quality players, but I feel a lot more confident going with this back 4 than I have done for a very, very long time going to Anfield or any of the big clubs, because I think that we are defensively a lot better than what we have been in the past. And the reason you don't win away games, Robbie, and don't do well away from home is because you don't defend well. You know what I mean? And that's why we've come short against these big games. But if we defend well, we've got ammo to hit them. We really have, you know what I mean? So that first 20 minutes, if we're still 0-0 after that, and don't forget, if we can get into...
We've been out there before, been 1-0
Yeah, we've been 1-0 up. Yeah, 1-0 I remember being 1-0 up.
Slapped.
1-0 up. Before I stopped celebrating, it was 1-1, like, you know what I mean? So, and then we was 2-1 down before, you know, and then they were saying sit down, like, you know. But the other thing is, and the big scenario of that game is that they've dropped 5 points in their last, you know, if we can get to 70th minute and be level, they may have to make bold decisions.
They'll be under a little pressure.
A little under pressure to drop more points, you know what I mean? And, you know, they don't want to drop another couple of points. They might do some, you know, go gun-ho like they did against Brighton, and we've got the ammo to keep it. If we can be level with them at 70 minutes, I think we've got a chance. I really do think that we could actually nick it from there.
I think it's a pivotal game, man, and I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, on next week's podcast, we're going to go into a lot more detail about this game. But wow, what a game it's going to be. Let's pray that all of our players come back from international duty intact. You know, Mo Salah gets back knackered, you know what I mean? Well, when I say knackered, I'm not wishing any injury on him.
No, just hopefully he misses the plane.
Before the Liverpool fans will be waiting for me when I get out there. I mean, like, knackered in that he's tired.
He's jaded.
He's jaded, and he's like, you know, mind you, they've still got Jota, they've still got Mane, they've still got... They are a
They've got Firmino's out though, isn't he? So he's out with a hamstring injury.
But I'll tell you what, we need all of our guys... I'm just praying that none of our guys get... because the one downside of all of our players now suddenly getting picked on international duties. Gabriel's got to travel.
Oh yeah,
Tierney's travelling. Obviously Smith Rowe and Saka. I don't want to San Marino guy.
Yeah. But at least they're on a Monday night, then, so they've got a little bit more time. I don't know what time where Gabriel's travelling to see, but he ain't going to be. He ain't going to be round the corner, is it?
He ain't going to be round the corner. Anyway, listen, it's time for our games this week, right? International week, of course, so we're going to adopt an international theme. Let me take a little scan through the games. We start off. Let's pick a game from the games on Saturday. Bloody hell. Wales versus Belarus.
2-0. Well, I'll go first, do I?
Yeah.
2-0 Wales.
It's a game that Wales need to win.
Yeah, they need to win that one. 2-0 Wales. Gareth Bale, which I won't cheer, and Aaron Ramsey, which I will. 2-0 to Wales.
2-0. Now, Wales don't score a lot of goals, though, do they?
No, they don't.
1-0 Wales. 1-0. 1-0 to Wales. All right. Next game we're going to look at is a decent game on the Sunday night. Spain versus Sweden.
Oh, both teams are good there. If you'll go first.
Spain are good. Spain are very good. Spain will win this. Sweden are good, but they'll defend in this. It'll be tiki-taka all night long. And Spain will run out 2-0 winners.
2-0. 3-1.
Ooh, 3-1. Monday night, San Marino versus England.
I'll go first, then.
San Marino versus England. I think we all know. I think we can safely say we'll both get the outcome right, but will we get... This could be the one.
This could be the one, like that, I mean. 5-0.
5-0. You jammy said I was going to
go. You're going to go higher or lower than that?
I was going to go 5-0.
It's got to be 5, 6, 7, isn't it? Surely.
I'm not playing much. The thing is about it is that they could be qualified by the time they even play that game.
Well, they will be.
Yeah. So Albania they got on Friday. It's not. That's not given. What's not?
You're kidding. You won't want to go against that, do you? Go on then, put that down.
No, but Albania, you've got a few half-decent players. Granit Xhaka's...
Well, you put that down as your draw. It's Granit Xhaka's brother plays.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still playing, but he's in the team.
And he ain't as good as Granit. There you go.
San Marino... Ooh. I'm going to go 6-0.
Oh.
6-0, I'm going higher.
If Harry Kane gets one at 6, I'll be fuming. I'm absolutely fuming if he does.
And the last one, big game this one, Scotland versus Denmark.
Oh, my God. What day is that?
Same day. Same Monday. Good game, man.
Oh.
Good game. Good game.
Who goes first? Me? No, it's you. You go first.
Me first?
Yeah, because I just went 5-0, then I San Marino.
No. I'd love Scotland to win.
I know what you're going to say.
But I have to go 2-1. I think...
You're going to go 2-1 Denmark?
2-1 Denmark. Denmark are a good side, man.
Yeah, they are.
We saw them when they played against England. They've got a great record. Scotland...
Is it at Scotland?
It's at Hampden. They'll fight Scotland, but I think Denmark will be too good. 2-1.
It's an hard one, isn't it? I'm gonna say, like, for me mate Will, you know what I mean?
Big up Will.
Big up Will. I can boogie all night long. I think that it'll be 1-1. I'm gonna say 1-1.
1-1. All right.
So there's going to be
1-1.
So we've all gone the same scores apart from that one.
Apart from that one. All right, 1-1. Right, you'll be able to find out next week who's come out on top. He's winning 1-0. He won last month. 5-3. Yeah.
All right, 5.
All right.
5-3.
This guy, I've not, I didn't realise how competitive he was until this thing. He'll be texting me on the day, emojis, all that, you know what I mean?
when it finished and I checked it all, and then I sent you a message singing Aubameyang.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, he sent me a voice note. Aubameyang. I'm like, this guy. I've got to pull it back this week. I've got to pull it. Come on, Albania, right? You know what I mean? No. What am I about? San Marino concede 6. San Marino. Come on.
I'll tell you what. If it's 4-0, right, with a minute to go, and Harry Kane scores to make it 5, I will cheer. No, but Harry Kane with a brace.
Well, anyway, listen, we've come to the end of the show today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, you can download this podcast on all the usual formats. Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV as well. And we'll be back next week with another Invincibles podcast. So make sure you check it out, Lee. Big up yourself.
Cheers.
And also, where can they find you, Lee?
Lee Mark Judges, of course, on Twitter and Instagram, but also Lee Judges TV. Do the business and subscribe. It's been tough. It's been tough the last few weeks, So
why?
Well, just just getting content and everything like that. It's not easy, is it?
No, why not?
Well,
stuff about it.
No, it's just like
you run out of things to talk about.
No, not at all. It's good that Arsenal keep winning and things like that.
There you go. There you go. Brilliant.
It is. We've got some more stuff coming out, around things and all that.
All right. We look forward to it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.